concept of white supremacy. And when I say racism, this is what I'm talking about. Prejudice plus. So people use the term reverse racism to talk about black racism or racism by people of color against whites. What I would like to suggest to you is that is a term that really has no meaning. It is impossible to be a reversed racist for a person of color in this country. You can be prejudiced. You can be a racial bigot without any problem whatsoever. But racism is more than just prejudice. It's prejudice plus social power, plus legal authority. And people of color have never had the last two in the history of America. That is the difference. So when I talk about racism, I want you to understand what it is that I'm talking about.
What's up, Black family? This is Super Mike. I want to come and I want to talk to us just a few minutes about racism. Now, with racism, we're talking about racism. What is that? People have changed up this word based on the usage of the word. But basically, racism is a dividing of resources. You divide resources based on race. You deprive resources based on race. You have a pecking order, meaning there's a top tier, there's a medium tier, and there's buffer classes, and then there's the bottom class. Now, in America, that bottom class is black people. The whole system of the American capitalism, the system of American governance, the things you know and love, the systems that trained you, your military experience, all of your experiences are founded and foundationally on a racist system, a pecking order, meaning you have to have white people as the Americans, legitimate American. Then you have other groups, and sometimes these other groups can include mixed, they can include foreign nations, they can include other groups. And then on the bottom, we must have black people. If the black people decide to change that, don't want to be on the bottom anymore, then not only does the whole United States collapse, but the whole system collapses, because the people who built the country, they don't want to be on the bottom rung anymore. It's going to just disrupt the whole system. See, the whole entire system is an institution. Racism is an institution. It's not about you just hating somebody just because of the color of their skin. It's developed into that, the bigotry of that, but it's actually based on money. It is a group of people that got together and decided we're going to steal their money forever. Now, if you're on the top of that type of system, it is in your best interest, and you are taught to maintain that system at all costs. This is the reason why it is so much resistance when black people try to get a little something. So when you start talking about buffer classes, these are the people that's in the middle. They receive some goodies. They will not receive the same level of goodies that the top tier class gets, but they're satisfied because at least they're not black, right? So the black people must be made to suffer, and everybody must is incentivized to make sure that suffering continues. Otherwise, you'll have a system of equality which the people on the top tier are not conditioned to survive in. Then they will become the bottom rail. You see? So this is the reason why racism, and it's the classical definition of racism, not the fact that, oh, we hate you just because of the color of your skin. That is a lie. It's a misconception. It's not something that is true. Okay, so we need to get that in our head. The definition of racism is an institutional situation. It's a thing that people are using to deprive you of money.
ocean, a home and a country should leave us no more. Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of fight or the gloom of the grave. And the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave.